All right, welcome everybody. Welcome to the monthly track reviews that are user submitted by the community. And so far, I like to say this is going very well. I know last time we had a great turnout. We had a lot of tracks submitted. This time around, we have about 4 or 5 tracks. So hopefully we can dive in deep here today. And I have no meetings. So like we did last time, I had to abrupt the stream and then we came back on. So if you're just tuning in, we should be able to get your tracks if you haven't submit them. But hopefully everything sounds good. I have to wait for everybody to get into the chat to let me know before we get started. Just some things off the top. Yeah, so I have a couple of things that I want to throw out to everybody. I know that a lot of people watch these streams, so just off the bat, I'm thinking about doing a kind of series, like a video blog. It would be like maybe one a week, and the backing behind this is it's not just gonna be like sharing my life and doing the life blogging thing. No, no, no. What I'm thinking about doing is doing more of a philosophical approach on topics that center around music and composing, things that we face with and I face with. Because there's some times that I want to like get on camera and share things that I'm going through, especially with composing songs, struggles, or things that I'm having. So let me know in the comments section if you watch this now or if you're watching this later, what your feelings on this, and if you have any ideas or anything that you would like to see in these. So they would be edited, and they'll probably be between 5 and 10 minutes, and probably one a week or whatever. It just kind of at random when I have things to say, and more of a philosophical approach, and kind of a conversation, and you guys can suggest things and let me know. But that was just one thing that I wanted to get out there, and that was an idea I had. Also, I'd like to know what you guys are thinking about the interviews. I know we've done two, and it seemed like the last one with Christopher went pretty well. A lot of people liked it. I enjoyed doing it, so I'd like to hear some feedback on that. But so yeah, looks like so. If I'm looking over this way, it's because I changed my setup. I don't know if you follow me on Instagram. I posted a picture, and if you're on the Discord chat server that I announced I think it was about a month or two ago, I let everybody know that now I'm down to one monitor again. So a little bit different. So we're testing out the live stream, see how this goes. Before I had 3 monitors, so I had the chat on one and stuff like that. So now I only have one monitor. And the reason being is because for concentration and workflow, I found myself when I had 2 monitors, like I would get distracted and do other things instead of focusing on what I'm supposed to be doing and composing. So anyway, all right. Hey Phil, how you doing? Hi Todd, found your template vid, very useful. Thanks, Phil. Great, man. I'm glad you found it useful. That's why I do them. Like I said, my channel is all about helping composers. Composing made simple is the mantra of the channel. Composing is not very simple, but I just like to think of like that. I'm trying to help you guys focus on the music and not get bogged down by DAWs and all this stuff, sample libraries. So yeah, I'm glad that helped you, man. I appreciate it. How's everything sound? I just want to make sure. Um, yeah, so glad you liked it. I know a lot of people like the approach, and like I said, I just posted that video. I think it was yesterday, my template walkthrough, and I did a whole new approach and way of thinking on it, and it's still evolving. I've added some new things to it, but I'm glad you enjoyed it. All right, so let's see here. Um, so what I got today, I have some tracks just already lined up in Cubase. I like doing it this way because I can go back and forth and I can solo stuff and do things. I'm gonna try something new with a piano. Um, Actually, it's the new Cinepiano or Cinesamples Cine Piano, and I'm really loving it. Let me know if you can hear that, the levels in chat. Hold on, I gotta fix my. There we go. Just want to make sure it's loud enough. Levels is always the crucial thing here. Let me turn that up a little bit. But anyway, all right, so let's get started. And if you haven't, if you're watching live, make sure to check out the Discord channel. I always plug this all the time, but I'm telling you, we're really growing it. I think we're up to like 30 people in there, and it's about helping composers. So if you have a question, it's like 24/7 access. If you have a question about a sample library or composition or music theory or just anything, there's somebody in there usually that will help you, not and myself. And it's a good place. We try to keep it, um, you know, family friendly in there, so you won't get banished or anything for asking questions. That's the whole purpose. So enough of me yapping. Let's hope. I just see one person chat, so hopefully everything sounds good. I guess if not, they will let me know. So let's go with our first track here. Casual Adventure. Okay, great. Okay, there's a lot to process here. Okay, everybody says the level sounds great. Awesome. Cool. Love the track. Love the structure. I was definitely like there for a second in the middle when it did the chord change and went to a different and modulated. I wasn't expecting it, so it caught me off guard, which was cool. Kept me listening. So I think off the bat, a few things is mixing. That piano, let me see where it's at. This is cool right here, this part. That piano is a little loud. I think it's a piano. Or is it a harp? So turn it down now. Turn that piano down a little bit. So you can have that, the melody instrument can be heard. So this was cool, this ending was different. So there's something being played. The string instrument is that the cello. It's very light. I guess if that's what you're going for, that's great, but it's very hard to hear. Mitchell says it's a piano. Okay, good. What piano is it? Yeah. No, don't worry, Mitchell. Mixing is tough, man. Composition is what you need to worry about first. Because at first, we can get by the mixing thing, usually, but yeah, we're focusing on compositional and stuff like that. But yeah, mixing's my weak part too. I think it's everybody's because we're composers, we're not freaking mixers. But I like the ending. It was really cool. So there's something. The giant library. Okay. I'm gonna say, is that bagpipes? I know it's not, but it's what it reminds me of bagpipes. It's just very light. So if you're going for that, like you're kind of decrescendoing down silently. There's a name for it. I can't think of it right now. If that's what you're going for, maybe try riding the mod wheel or the expression a little bit. It's just a little light. Do you have any reverb? I don't think you. It's very hard to tell if you have reverb going on. Okay, so let's go back to the beginning. Bassoon. Okay, bassoon. Yeah, it's very, very light. It sounds like I knew it was a a wood instrument. I was like, it's kind of sounds like bagpipes, but no, it's not bagpipes. So it's a bassoon. Maybe try. Let's listen to this one more time. I like this, dude. Dun 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 dun. Now, then what you should have done is that section again, repeat it, then bring in I think you brought in the melody in a little early. Hold on. Dun dun bum 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 bum. Now, bring in the melody now and repeat that. Repeat those pizzicato strings again, what you just did. So what we want to do here is set up a pattern. So you broke the pattern. Like that's what got me at first. It jarred me for a second. It was like, wait a minute. I was waiting for it to start over again and then bring in the melody. Or is that like a pickup? Dun, dun, dun. Then bring it in. So then what you could do is repeat that pizzicato line again, then bring in the melody. And it sounds like you move the pizzicato strings up. It's a pickup. Okay, that's what I thought. You could do that, I guess. Like I said, initially when I first heard it, like it just jarred me. It's like, wait a minute, I'm waiting for the phrase to end because you're setting it up. That's the intro. Repeat it, then bring it in. Or you could repeat it again, play with that a little bit. But like I said, it was just a little jarring at first for me. And also, those high pizzicato strings, it might be distracting from the melody because they're in the same range and they're kind of fighting each other. Unless if you can bring those pizzicato strings down a little bit, make them softer. I like that right there. Love that modulation. Bring piano down so the melody can take over, because right now it's kind of fighting. Right there, that phrasing, if that's a wind instrument, maybe put a little more breath in there, have a little more breath. So like, nah, nah. I think I have a little more impact, Stop. See, it's yeah. Stop. That right there, that da, 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 I don't know. Keep that. The first phrase is fine. Right there. So hesitate a little, hold it for another second, and then go into it. I think I have a little more impact. Okay. I mean, it's just a little jarring. This sounds very dry too. Maybe try adding some reverb, just very subtle. But yeah, I like it. I like the composition. Just a few things, mixing. I think if you just do a little bit better phrasing on the breathing parts, because it just felt a little jarring for me. Hold on. Yeah, right there. Just... Yeah, just a little more, because when you think about a woodwind player playing that, that's how they're going to do it. They're going to emphasize that note. They're going to kind of swell into it. At least that's just from my ears here. Hey guys, sorry, I'm looking at chat here. Good on you, mate, for doing these. All the best. Thanks, Ashton. I'm a fan of your channel too, man. Thanks for coming in. But yeah, it's great. Like I said, maybe try using some reverb, get the mixing down a little bit, and just work on the phrasing a little. And what I would do is I would listen to some woodwind pieces, classical pieces, and really study the way they phrase and the way they emphasize notes. Because you got to think about it, a woodwind player plays different than a brass player or a string player. So you got to really learn the nuances of that instrument that you're writing for. That's one thing I'm trying to do myself. I've been listening to a lot of classical music lately and really listening to the way, you know, they phrase. It's a thing. And I think that's what makes, like, that's how you can make sample libraries really shine. It's not so much the sample libraries, but you got to treat it like it's a player. You got to be the player. And that's why I suggest playing it in instead of, writing it in. So you can get those nuances in there, especially with your mod and expression wheel and rhythm. All right. So I hope that helps. If you have any questions, just put it in chat and I'll get back to it. We can always circle back, if I miss something. All right. So that was Casual Adventure. I like it. Like I said, I think so, add some reverb, that intro part, redo it, and then bring the melody in on that time because it's a little jarring. I know you were going for a pickup, but it's just a little jarring, especially for the intro, because that's just where we're going. That's where everybody's mind is going. We're just so used to patterns, so you got to make sure don't break the pattern. You broke the pattern when you modulated, which was great because I was like, whoa, and I was listening, so it kept me interested. I don't know if you need to do a hard modulation that quickly because this piece is only. Hold on, I got to put my seconds in here real quick. Sorry, I didn't have this set up in my in the Cubase. I'm just using an empty ruler track. We want seconds, so it's about a minute 35. Yeah, so I mean you really don't need one, but it works. Can a track be sent now? Yes, just send it to the Google Drive folder if you can. All right. This next one's called Departure. Because the reason why, I don't like, I could do a link, but the reason why I don't is because I like putting it in Cubase so I can scroll around and get really finesse with it, and I can, loop stuff if I need to. All right, here we go. Departure. Ooh, nice. All right, that was great. I have a lot to say. All right, piece is great. Need to switch up the colors a little bit because we got strings a little bit. I think this piece could use some woodwinds. Definitely I could hear some woodwinds, and then I think it was an acoustic guitar. I think what you could have done is switch it to a harp, then go acoustic guitar, then go to a harp, doing those arpeggiations with the chords that you're doing. And then there was a couple of flubs in here I heard. Let me see if I can find them. With your expression and mod, it sounded like you hit it really too much. Hold on, let me hear. Right there, a little much right there. Because the string's not gonna go like that. So a little more subtle. Where was that section I heard? It just sounds like those strings are like you're riding it too high, a little too much. Because this is a very delicate piece to me. This is just what I'm hearing. This is very delicate. So we want to make it very subtle. Where was it? You can even put some Glock or Celeste. You could do some Celeste too. Add some color. Because basically what's happening here, right there, yeah, that one was a little much. I like this right here. Add some flutes to double those strings. Maybe a piccolo. Here's where you could bring in the Celeste or the Glock in the background. Very good. I love that. Very good swell in. See, it's building. Great. Bringing it back down. So right there, see, you could have changed instruments right there. Change colors, because right now we've heard that acoustic guitar all the way. So change it up right there. You changed into a new section. So bring in some new colors. Right now, bring in some new colors. Maybe a harp. Maybe a piano. Or do pizzicato string. I think you're doing some pizzicato strings, maybe bass. So yeah, I mean, like I said, the piece is great. It just needs some new colors. You need to mix up the colors a little bit. Go for delicate. That's what I'm hearing in this piece. And it just sounds like you're riding that mod wheel a little too much on those strings. Because this whole piece is what, 2 minutes 10 seconds. So that's great if it's a string only piece. Maybe switch up some articulations. Like I said, they're at the end. Maybe do some arpeggiations with maybe a cello or viola. Doing the chords and pizzicato. So just get your articulations a little bit more. I like this beginning. The swelling. Delicate. Whoa. Little right there. This is very delicate. Little, okay. See those? It's like this. The chords are just like really just overpowering your melody there. Delicate. I need a shirt. Delicate. Love those strings though. Curious to know what you're using on that. Very Hollywood. But see, yeah. The chords, they're just too much, man. You got to bring down the expression, bring them out, because it's killing your melody. I'm listening to this melody, but then I hear these like, like these chords just like going too much, and it's just, I don't know what to concentrate on. Cinematic strings. You hear it? You hear it? Like, now you hear these strings. You got the melody strings, and then you got these chords or something just, and they're fighting at each other. And we don't want that. So bring it down, or try different instrument families doing the chords. Do woodwinds, do a harp, celeste. I mean, there's so many options. That's the thing. But it sounds like you want to go for a string-only kind of piece. So if that's the case, delicate. But I love the melody. I love the high strings. Sounds beautiful. See, now you can go into woodwinds. Woodwinds doing that, but maybe a flute doing that melody again. And it would bring so much power to this piece. So you did the high strings. So now let's go to woodwinds, and then you can do. So if you were up high doing the melody, let's bring the melody down. Maybe you could do. Let's see, maybe a clarinet, maybe an oboe, or something like that. But then you want to keep that delicate, beautiful, because that's where my mind's going. Okay, I hear the high strings because you started high strings. And then do that melody again. Bring that flute or whatever you're going to bring woodwind in, do a counter melody there at the end, and then bring it in and maybe repeat that beginning melody you just did, or maybe do variations. I think it'd be very powerful. And then change up your instrumentation. Drop the strings maybe, but just subtle. Whoa on those strings. Because right now I'm hearing. I think you're doing either. It sounds like viols or cellos doing another melody, and then I hear that. Is it an acoustic guitar? Fighting it. Because they're all in the same space. So maybe move your chords up. Because now your melody's down low. So if you want the melody down low there, try woodwinds. Different color. Dun, 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 dun. Right there, you're building excitement there. That's when you would do maybe a timpani roll to a little cymbal crash or something or do something else, but you want to emphasize that build you're doing there. So I see the picture what you're doing. So you went high and then you brought it down low. You brought your piece down low. So what I would do is you had the high piece, like I said, try woodwinds, bring it a little more softer, delicate in the second time of the melody. And then when you're going to come into this section right here, to get back to Grandioso, start building it up here, maybe timpani roll. Bam. Yeah, that would be awesome. Drop that sparkly thing. Maybe double this with horns. Then you can come back to that section again that you just did. So basically what you're doing is you're repeating each section, and I would change up the instrumentation. Bring pizzicato strings in here, maybe come back to woodwinds, or you could, it's all up to you, but these are just some options. But I like the piece. It's very great. You got the structure down. I just think you need to come up with some different colors, because it's just all one thing throughout, and you're fighting your melody. So when you did that cello thing, I would do maybe this is just screaming woodwinds right here for me. I know woodwinds is a bad name. I know we don't use woodwinds today, but trust me, woodwinds are so powerful. Oh God, they're so powerful. And this piece is just calling for it. But I hope that helps. Let me see. Let me check out chat. Just make sure. A lot to think about. Thank you. Yeah, Mitchell. It's a great piece, man. Like I said, work on it. I want to hear the revisions. I want to hear what you do with this. So next month, resubmit this piece, please. I want to hear it again. Uh, it's a lot of good ideas. The ideas are great. Like I said, it's just let's just change up some colors and bring a little more excitement. When you go into that last part of the melody, when you go to the high strings again, I would maybe do a little timpani roll crash there or something, whatever you want. I'm just saying. I mean, you don't want to be cliche or whatever, but that's what it's calling for. Let's not stray away from what we already know, because 99% of our listeners are not composers, and they know what they hear all the time in film scores and on the radio. They're expecting it, so give it to them. But always be like that last piece that we had when they did the modulation. I wasn't expecting that, but it worked. So that's what we want to do, and that's what John Williams does. He grabs you, holds your hand, but then he takes you to a different place. So anyway, I hope that helps. A lovely piece, love it, love those strings. I want to hear the revisions of it. I really do. All right, let's move on here. Since we don't have as many, okay, someone told me that they just sent me a piece, so let me look at the. Let me get the folder here. Make sure everybody's. Oh, we got some more pieces. So all right, hold on, guys. Let me get these new ones in here. Okay, 1 second. I'm thinking if anybody wants to give me some intro music for the live streams, if you want to write something, let me know and send it to me. I would love to feature somebody's music. I don't want to be all, ego and like, yeah, I'll write my own music for it. But, like I don't write trailer music. So if you want to write something that's really cool and like I said, some of these pieces that I've gotten from you guys, like these dance pieces and stuff, man, they're awesome. Okay, I think we got them all. Yep. Okay, cool. If anybody sends me another piece, just send them in chat. Remember, throw it in the Dropbox because that's the way I do it, and I have it in Cubase. Hey, Epicurse Music, how are you? Glad you stopped by. We're glad you stopped by as well. All right, let me check out chat here. Make sure I didn't miss anything. Okay, cool. All right, so let's move on to the next piece. I hope this advice is helping everybody. Like I said, I try to focus on not so much the technical music theory and all that, because I don't really know music theory that well. I mean, I know basics, but that's not what our listener is listening to. I'm your listener, so I'm the 99% that your music's going to be up against. So I'm treating your music like that. So that's my approach to this. That's if you want to get all theory and all technical, great. But your listeners they're not doing that. They're listening to it for feeling and emotion, and the things that I pick out is what they're going to pick out, and that's what's going to make them not listen to your music. So that's how I approach these live streams. We can get into the, oh my God, you didn't do a whatever 4, 6, 5, whatever. Nobody cares about that. All they care about is that the music moves them at the end of the day. So that's where I come from. That's my approach. All right, this one's called Grandiose World. Oh, let's buckle up. No, I don't think so. There's a couple here in these waveforms. They're pretty big, so but this one looks decent. So here we go. Okay. There's a lot to dissect in this one. So they did change up the colors, which is great, but at the beginning the woodwinds were a little too much. Try to find out here. Those strings are very powerful. So this is another, like, this piece sounds like it's supposed to be a little more delicate, as well. Is anybody? I just want to make sure everybody's still around, man. Because the chat, I was looking at chat. I didn't see too many people in the chat. Just say hi or whatever if you're in there. Okay, cool. So yeah, so this is just another mixing kind of thing. The instruments are fighting here. So if we're doing strings, hey, that guy, how are you? I just don't know what to focus on. Because you got the high strings doing a melody, and then you got in the low string, cellos or violas doing another melody, counter melody. So if that's the case, hold on, let me listen again. Okay. Okay, so the strings are just like, woo, now we're going even higher. So I know what you're going for. You want this big grandioso kind of thing. It's just, I don't think we need it right there. I mean, we're only 30 seconds into the piece. I would save it till later. It doesn't sound like you're using any modulation or expression. And those woodwinds are just woo. So here's the thing. This is realism. Like, I can already tell this is, your listener's going to tell this is fake, because woodwinds and strings, when strings are playing like that, woodwinds are not going to you know what I mean? They're not going to compete in the same space. So what I would suggest you do is listen to some classical music and balance this stuff. So you need to start riding the expression and mod wheel a little bit. Let me see. I like it. It's just, it's very beautiful. Love it. But see, the woodwinds are just, it's distracting from your melody. For me, I'm hearing this beautiful melody, and then I hear this. I'm not trying to make fun of your music, okay? I'm just trying to say how I hear it. When we're composing, sometimes we don't hear it like our listeners hear it, because we're with it so long, and you know what I mean? So we lose perspective. So I'm just, letting you know. I want that melody. I want to hear it. I want to, be invested. And then something over here, is like distracting me from it. And that's not what we want. So we always want the melody to be predominant in the mix or in your composition. So instead of doing staccato woodwinds there, hold on, let me listen. Yeah, just try to bring those woodwinds down. It's just all fighting. It's all fighting. The melody is great. Love the melody. Alan says, makes me want to compose right now. Yeah, listening to your guys' pieces, man, really, really inspires me too. So I love doing this and hearing what everybody does, because then I go back to the woodshed and I'm like, oh, I suck. Because a lot of these tracks I get, man, they're great. It's just production and stuff like that. It's not the ideas. The ideas are great, and that's usually what it is. Ideas are always not easy to come up with, but are usually pretty good. It's just the execution of the ideas and trying to expand on our ideas. That's what I struggle with, and you guys all know that. If you watch my Composing with Coffee series, I'll get going on an idea, and then I'm like, well, where do I take it? And that's the hardest part. So yeah, I would probably lay off on those woodwinds here. Just we want that melody to shine. This kind of reminds me of something from Schindler's List a little bit. So go listen to Schindler's List. I'm gonna laugh if this was their inspiration for this piece. I'm telling you, like, it's reminding me of something from Schindler's List a little bit. Yeah, and okay, one thing. That cymbal roll, get rid of it. Get rid of it. You don't need it. Do a harp bliss. That's another thing I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get out of these cliche things. Everybody's using cymbal rolls, so let's find a new way and be creative. And so I'm starting to ditch cymbal rolls altogether and come up with new ways. I think we do a harp bliss or something. Because it just sounds like, okay, we're gonna do a little cymbal roll there. You know what I mean? It just sounds out of place. Oh, by the way, here's a cymbal roll. Great, love it. Bring the strings down. Bring the strings down. It's fighting with your melody there. Delicate. I'm getting a shirt made. Delicate. Love the woodwinds. Yes. Strings are overpowering your woodwinds, though. Bring down the strings. This part kind of lost me a little bit. See, there we go again. Oh, here's a cymbal roll. You don't need it. So okay, the problem right here, this is why I'm lost. There's just, everything's fighting. Everything is fighting. There's just too much going on. I'm like, I don't know what to listen to. You got woodwinds in there. I want to hear the woodwinds, or I want to hear the melody. You got this harp going on. You got this. It's just too much. Pizzicato strings. Boom. So there we go. Let's change up some articulations here with these strings, because you've been having these long strings the whole time. Let's change up the articulations. Let's maybe do some pizzicato. Let's do something else. Hold on. Let me listen here again. You also could do a tremolos. Maybe do some tremolo strings here. Very lightly, very delicate. Yeah, I love it, man. I love this. I love it. I want to hear those woodwinds, but the strings are just way overpowering it. So I don't know what to listen to. I hear a harp. I hear strings. I hear a little bit of woodwinds. Right there. That's a solo. I want to hear that. That's all I want to hear. The oboe. Yeah. Right there. When you went to that oboe. Okay, your crescendo. Down, down. Let that oboe talk to us. Beautiful. Bring down the strings. You could have ended it right there. And I would have been satisfied. Yeah, like I said, there was a lot of stuff on this piece. I mean, I love it. I love the piece. So much potential. It's just those strings and everything is fighting, and I don't know what to listen to. And you have your sections, great. You're switching up instruments, colors, but I can't hear it because they're all in my face. And if you listen, like I said, go listen to Schindler's List. I think there's some pieces in there that you could take some inspiration from. It's very similar, the melodies and the way that you're approaching it. I don't know if that was your inspiration or not, or where you took your inspiration from. You got to listen to more of the music that you're trying to write so you can get those nuances. That's a big thing. As much as we have to be composers, we have to be listeners of music too. You just got to listen. Use your ears. Your ears will tell you if it's right or wrong. I know we all get bogged down in theory. Am I doing all? I'm telling you, half the time, most people aren't thinking about that stuff. They do. It's just there somehow. But like most of the time, it's listening and just sit down and listen to music. Just listen and don't critique music. Just listen to it. All right, let me look at chat here. Epicurse Music says, great tips, fairness, Todd. Very nice song for sure. Thank you. Appreciate it. I try to be fair. I try to give great constructive feedback. Things that you can go take today and go put in action and make your pieces better. I'm not here to rip your pieces apart. I want you to succeed, okay? Just as much as I want to succeed writing music, I want to hear you guys succeed because I hear some great stuff. And this piece could be even better. I mean, it's not bad. It's just we need to work. And I hope I'm giving you guys the tools and tips to go make it better. And I want to hear it. I want to hear what you guys do with them. I loved it. I loved the melody. It was getting me. I was listening. But like I said, when it got into there for a while, it was just like, I don't know what to focus on. So, reel it in. Like I said, I'm getting a shirt. Delicate. All right. Great piece. I want to hear the revisions on that. I want to hear what you do. All right, hold on, look at chat. Jeremy says, hey, everybody, and Todd, new to the channel. This live breakdown of mixes is awesome. Great. Awesome. Thanks for the kind feedback. That's what I hope. That's why I do it. This inspires me just as much as it inspires you guys. I hear some great pieces in here, and I want to hear you guys get better. Because I learn too. I learn, by listening to your pieces, and I go, oh, I do the same thing in my piece. So now I won't do that anymore. But 9 times out of 10, I do it. I keep doing it. So it's a learning process just as much as it is for me as it is for you. I hope. Mitchell says, thank you, Todd. Hey, you're welcome, man. I want to hear the revisions on it. All right. I think you submitted the last piece before that because I can tell the writing style is very similar. So I think, if not, I apologize. But yeah, that piece is good, man. Work on it. I want to hear the revisions. Like I said, if you're not a part of the Discord channel, I think there's a link somewhere on my channel. You can find it. We're all in there. And there's a section in there for track feedback. So you can submit a track at any time. And not just me, but people in the community that subscribe to my channel and people that are in the Discord channel, they'll give you feedback. And we've got some great people in that give really positive feedback. So if you're working on pieces, and because I only do these once a month, if there's time in between, you want to get some feedback in between, the live show, go ahead and join the channel. I know I pimp it all the time, but I'm telling you, there's a lot of great people in there, and it's a great resource, and we're building it up, and it's blowing my expectations farther than what I ever thought it would be. So, okay, enough of that. All right, so this next piece, if you're watching, you submitted a piece last time. I just know by the name. I don't want to say whose name it is because I like to keep this anonymous, Your piece last time, you had these runs for the violin, and it got to me thinking I was listening to the Four Seasons by Vivaldi. Go listen to that piece, the one that you submit last month. You had these really high string runs that are going really quickly. Listen to the Four Seasons, I think Spring, and there you go. I think that will help you. I wanted to tell you, for like 3 weeks, like, hey man, go listen to this piece. But anyway, so let's listen to this one. I don't think this is a resubmit. All right, let me look at chat because people talking here. Alan says, Todd, do you sell your music online? No, I do not. Not currently. I want to, though. I don't feel like I'm ready. The thing about selling your music online into those sites like Audio Jungle and all that stuff, what I've heard of, what I've been told is you want to have like a big category, like 30 tracks ready to go so you could submit at once, not just by track basis. I hope to get somebody on Composer Talk that we could talk about business stuff. That's something I want to hit on in the future. Is business side of music. I'm not an expert, but I have somebody in mind that I want to talk to, but I want to find some people so we can talk about that and, we can cover those topics. Like I said, with Composer Talk, I hope to expand that into actual talking with filmmakers, directors, and video game developers, so we can as composers hear the other side of it, and we can know what they look for in hiring us. So yeah, definitely. But no, I haven't submitted any of my music. I don't think I'm good enough yet. I think we all feel like that. Anyway, so let's see. Skylit Music Showreel says hi, all late joining. I was writing. Hey, no problem. You should be writing. Somebody on other chat says, hey Todd, do you have time for WIP feedback, please? What's WIP? Sorry. I don't know what that is. Can you clarify that for me? Fallen in here? I was thinking like WordPress or something. All right, so let's dive into this next track. Cool. Love it. I love pieces like this. Sounded very Blade Runner-y for a second there. All right. At first, it's very loud, but I think that's the way you exported it because the waveforms are huge. So let's go through this track here. I like the voice, the vocal. Repeat it. Okay. So first off, we're breaking it again. You're setting up your chord progression. Repeat it. Just repeat it. Then bring in the vocal over it. Like the vocal. I'm just saying, like, it's fine. I mean, it's fine if you do these things, but from your listener's point of view, we like patterns. So you're setting up a pattern, and then you break the pattern right away, and then what that does to the listener, what it does to me, is it distracts me, and it makes me not listen to the music. It makes me trying to figure out, okay, what's going on? Where's it going to? So I'm not listening to the music. So don't break the pattern. Yeah, so okay. You go dun, 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 then come back to it. Bam, back into it. But it's fine. So bring down the synths. Bring down the synths. Let that vocal shine a little bit. It's competing. Everything's at 10. Dynamics, dynamics, dynamics. So like maybe bringing up pulsing like drums or something in the back, because we're speeding this up. Arpeggiated thing. So by this time, I'm getting bored with the vocal. You know, I've heard it now for almost a minute, which is okay. Like I said, bring in some more excitement or change it up. Let's hear a melody or something. But I know what you're going for. But the synths, you need to bring the synths down. Boom, 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 boom. So you need to start listening to music like this and listen to what they're doing. I'm guarantee you they'll bring in some sort of boom, 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 in the background, a little pulsating thing to get some rhythm established here. All right, so let me see here. We go here. So now we're in a new section. So this part right here, I was ready for the synth melody, that cheesy 80s synth thing. So see, what you could do, so you have it coming up right now, you could have set that drum pattern up where I told you. Set that pattern up a little bit, just tease it a little bit so we know it's coming. You could do that. But I like this section right here. So now, boom. Let's maybe do a synth melody or something. Pure 80s, cheese 80s, man. Because the voice was cool, like that vocal thing was cool, you burned it out. So, if we, mix it up. That's why you got to change colors up. If you do a cool thing, do it only once. But it's fine, it's fine. Because I'm hearing, like, right now, this is taking me to the 80s, man. Like, when I was growing up in the 80s, and I'm waiting for that ding, 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 those synths. Yeah, I mean, these pieces for me are hard to critique sometimes. Like, I'm not like, I don't write like this, so I don't know, like that, like I said, that might work. I just saying from what I'm hearing, like that vocal's cool. It was cool, and then it just burns itself out. So let's try to change it up a little bit. It's a synth piece. So maybe bring in some synth melodies or something. But yeah, I hope that helps. Anybody in the chat have anything or any suggestions, or am I completely off basis with this? Oh, Epicurse Music says work in progress, WIP. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes perfect sense. All right, so this next piece was actually submitted from somebody in the chat or in the Discord channel. I told him he posted in track feedback the other day, and I was like, man, I have a lot to say about your track. So, and I didn't want to type it all out for him, so I said, post it and we'll do it on the live stream because I had a few things. But if nobody has anything to say on that last piece, we'll move on to this. Or if anybody has any questions, I said this scares me when the chat doesn't move for a while. I don't know if you guys are all there or not. Because I don't know. Oh, Epicurse Music says, I like your comments on these mixes. That really helps us all. Well, that's great, man. Sometimes I think I should be a producer, not a composer. Because, I just hear music and I know what music should sound like. But when I'm sitting here doing my own music, it's like, Why can't I do that? When I hear your guys' music, like all these ideas come trickling in. I start hearing it and I start arranging it and start thinking of all these cool ideas. I can't do that with my own music sometimes. I don't know what it is. Like sometimes I think I should be a producer. Work with composers. It just comes natural for me. I don't, it's not. I never went to school to be a producer or anything. I just. Oh, we're listening to you, and your words are needed. Cool. I appreciate it. Well, I'm just saying, like from my end, I don't know what you guys are, thinking or doing. Go ahead and just throw it in the chat, and that just helps me communicate. Because like I'm just thinking I'm talking to my computer, and this microphone. This is it. So I just like to hear that feedback. But no, thank you. I appreciate it. All right. So if anybody's got any questions or anything on this piece or any feedback for this person, I think now YouTube's live streams, like now when you watch them, the chat should be there with them, which is cool. So they can get feedback as well, and that's awesome. That helps out. That's why I always try to read out people's comments so they know what we're talking about if you're watching this again. All right, let's move on to the next track. Hold on. Let me check the Google Drive folder again. Just make sure nobody's popped anything in there. Okay. Nope. We look good. All right. Here we go. Okay, so cool. Like I said, I've heard this piece before. My problems with it, I love it, but it gets old real quickly with that rising synth. Drop it. So when you're going in here, now let's drop it down. Maybe you should come into this section. Do maybe a 4-bar break. Go back into it. Or that was a little excessive drum fill. Here, let me do this real quick. This is what I'm talking about. Okay. So we'll comment that. Do a break. See, then you could bring that thing back in, that synth thingy. So something like that. So I have the off, but a few bars here. Hold on. Anyway, like you would come into that, then do a dun 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 bum bum bum, and then go back into the drum beat. So you want to think of this as a verse chorus kind of thing, because that section the section here is really long. Just kind of meanders for a while. So you had that set up, that rising synth thing. Also bring down, when you get into it, get rid of it. That rising synth thing, bring in a melody here. A synth melody. So this could be kind of your chorus section. See, so it's all just jumbled, and it's just jumbled. Like, I can't pick out what you want me to listen to. I hear the arpeggios go, and then this rising synth thing. So get rid of that rising synth thing. Keep your arpeggios, that thing going. Bring it down a little bit, and think of this as a verse-chorus kind of structure, or ABA, whatever. So you want your verse section, then it goes into the chorus, the bigger section, which is, I think, that drum part, or what it could be. And what I would do is, bring in maybe a little synth melody or something. But you just gotta drop that rising synth thing. It gets old really fast. So what I would do is I bring that rising synth when you come in, drop it through this, and when you come into that low section, now bring it back. So do a drum fill right there. Bum, 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 like he did here at the beginning. Where's it at? That. Do that when you go into that section. So this needs a B section as well. So I would do a verse, chorus, then go into your bridge. And I think you had one. Let me see. But it's basically, it's a loop. It's fine. I mean, if this is a looped piece, like a video game or something, that would work out perfectly. But it just needs some variety. That's the problem. There's no variety in it. And then that rising synth thing gets real old real quickly. But you need to have some, like, you had this set up perfectly here. So you have that break there. And so you need to distinguish your section. So you need to do your verse, then go into the chorus. And then you could do, after the chorus, you could come into this section here, just a little break, do 4 bars. And then do that little snare hit thing and go right back into it. And then come back with another melody, a verse 2 melody. And then you do your chorus, the chorus section, then go into a bridge, and then just repeat. Then you could do your bridge into the chorus twice, or something like that. So you could do a lot here with the piece. Like I said, it's just, there's no structure, and there's just some things in it that gets annoying real quick. Sorry to be so blunt, but it does. It's like, okay, I got the idea, I'm bored. What else? What else are we gonna do here? And then we go for, we go for 15 seconds to about 1:05 until we get that break. So, that's a long time. All right. So I hope that helps. All right, let's go to chat here. I see some people talking. Epicurse Music says, I discovered you 3 days ago on one of your template videos and saw your live video listed in YouTube. I like these reviews you are doing. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. I love doing them. What does it take to upload one of our songs on this live? Okay, so if you want to upload songs for this live stream, what I do is, since I know you're new, so you don't really know, since you joined my channel 3 days ago, so I do this monthly. At usually the end of the last Friday of the month, there is a Google Drive folder, and I usually post, the Google Drive folder is open all the time. It's the same link, and it should be found on this video. But what I do is, usually a week before the live stream, I'll post a video on YouTube reminding everybody that, hey, the live stream is going to be next Friday. Make sure you submit your tracks. So there's a Google Drive folder. It should be below this video, and then you just upload it to there, and then I'll throw them into Cubase, and we do it. So like I said, since this is your first time, you just subscribed 3 days ago, you wouldn't know that. So so next month, for April, it would be the last Friday of April of the month, and we'll do another one. So I do these monthly. So if you didn't get submit this time, you can submit till next month. And what it does, it gives people a chance to work on some pieces and get them submitted. And also what I encourage is, if you do submit a piece, take the suggestions I give you or whoever in the community does, and try to implement them and resubmit the piece so we can hear it. That's how you're going to learn and get better. All right, so he says, got it. Thanks, Todd. So a WAV file is fine? Yeah. Just export it from your DAW. It should be good because I use Cubase, so WAV, MP3. I think most people do, let me see. I think they do MP3. Let me see. Yeah, they're MP3s usually, but a WAV's fine. All right, let's see here. Sorry, I had to check my phone. Real life calls, people. Okay. All right, anybody have any questions on that piece? If not, let's go to the next one. So we have, let's see, this track and one more. All right, so here we go. Nice. Okay. So this is a work in progress. So with that being, known, I can understand some of the issues that I have with it. Mixing, first off, everything is fighting. So, I don't know what to distinguish. The piano was really loud, drums and everything. That took me for a loop. This piece started somewhere and then it went somewhere completely different. This is cool. Wasn't expecting the drums to come in and do all that. So let's see here. Let's go through this piece. So this is interesting start here. I didn't know what to think. So, I mean, it works. It's just a lot thrown at me at once. So you have, okay, usually a good rule of thumb is never have more than 2 instruments introduced at once at a time. No more than 2, because our ears, and we can't really distinguish and get that. So you have a piano, a guitar, I think, and strings. Hold on. Yeah, so there's 3 things going on at once. So what I would do, eliminate something here. So we're going from the bell thing. So what I would do, drop the guitar for right now. Maybe the strings too. And let's just hear the piano. Repeat it. Now bring it in. Bring in the acoustic guitar. And maybe the strings. Drop the piano. Yeah, drop that piano. And these strings, I know when I was listening to it, that it just got annoying after a while. So change up the colors, move them to something else. Move it to woodwinds or move it to a different instrument. I mean, technically, this is kind of a new piece right here. Kind of. But see, okay, so the problem I'm hearing here is just we're just throwing everything at once right away. So, you know, we want to introduce, like I said, no more than 2 instruments at a time. So we're going from this really slow thing here. Okay, you're building it here. Great. So you're bringing in drums, arpeggiating strings, staccato strings. You got a piano. So you see what I'm saying? There's just too many elements to focus on. So what you could do when you come into that, when you bust into that, have the drums, take off the staccato strings, just have piano, drums, now bring in the staccato strings, drop the piano, so drop the strings again. See, now you're going back into the melody with the piano. So everything is just all at once. We're fighting here. So we need to distinguish your sections here. So you just have everybody playing at once. I don't know your sections. You know, your A section or your verse or whatever you want to call it. So we just need to learn to drop instruments and bring them in. So what I would do is I would drop, maybe go back to how it was at the beginning, drop the drums, drop the strings, the dun 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 dun, and just have the piano play the melody here after this part right here. Dun dun dun. You see what I'm saying? Then have the piano just playing the melody, and then after 4 bars, bring in a new element. You can bring the drums back. You know, it's like that. So just you want to give and take. You want to bring in new stuff, take stuff away. You know, variety. Keep the listener engaged, because right now it's just a loop. And you got these drums, maybe switch up the drum pattern. Do something new with the piano. I don't know what your melody is. So this is cool. little early for that, but it works. This is cool. Dun, dun, back to the tonic. Yeah, so I mean, I know it's just a work in progress, but those are some things to think about. You just have, you know, everything up on 10, and I don't know what is what. So give and take instruments, you know, get rid of those staccato strings, just bring them in maybe after 4 bars, drop the drums, go into the piano thing, you know, mix it up. I think this piece is suffering from a structure as well. I don't know the structure. You got the intro, you're setting it up, bring in the drums, but everything's at once. So you could expand this piece by all those great ideas that you have, but just give and take and put them in new sections. So I hope that helps. Anybody in the chat have anything they would like to say? I got to check the Dropbox here. Ooh. We have album art cover. Hey, you're welcome, Jesse. All right. Yeah, it's just like, I know it's a work in progress, so I get that. But like, it's just, I don't know what to focus on. I don't know where it's going. I don't have a melody. It doesn't even need to be a melody. I mean, you know what I mean? So it just give and take, bring stuff in, and never introduce more than 2 instruments at a time. Most of the time you want maybe one new introduction instrument, not just boom, you got 5 instruments. I was like, whoa, I don't know. Yeah, got to tone it down a bit. Yeah, the ideas are great. It just needs to work. Just needs to massage them a little bit, and I think you can do something. So I love to hear what you do with it. Work on it and submit it next month. All right, so let's move on to the next piece. Yeah. Okay. Let me check chat real quick. Epicurus Music says, enlightened it is. Thanks, Todd. What's enlightened? I don't know. Sorry, I don't know the context of the message. Must have been something that was in the in the piece. All right. Hopefully the levels are good. Like I said, I don't have I'm only have one monitor, so I only have Cubase up. I don't have my my OBS up to see the mixer, but nobody's screamed at me yet. So that's good. All right. The upload to your drive. Yeah, I got it. It's after this next piece. Alan says, probably a bit early to suggest, but we'd be cool to have a month where all submits. Yeah, dude, that's awesome. Yeah, like I said, I'm totally down. Like with anything, man. Like I said, this is a community we're building here. That's why I said the Discord channel chat is huge for this channel, because this is where people can talk and you can communicate with me. But yeah, I'm totally down with a Christmas theme. So maybe in December we'll do a Christmas theme. I'll hold the thing at before Christmas. Yeah, that's a great idea. I like it. Bonin, have you ever produced EDM tracks? No, I haven't. I listen to it on occasion, dance music, but I don't produce it myself. I'm not very good at it. I mean, I've dabbled in when I first started, doing electronic music. I did a little bit, but no, I don't consider myself an expert or anything at doing EDM tracks. But dude, Alan, yeah, I love the suggestion. Maybe we can do a composing with coffee segment on making Christmas music. Not that I've ever done that, so that might be a crash and burn stream. But well, yeah, that's cool. I like it. I like the idea. But yeah, if you're not a part of the Discord channel, I recommend you getting in there. Like I said, there's some great people in there so far. All right, so let's take a listen to this one. Is that a real guitar? All right, hold on. Whoa. We got to reset this. I wasn't expecting this. Those sounded like I was distracted by the guitar. I heard air in there, so these might be real instruments. Hold on. Okay. That's whew. That's a lot to digest. We got to go back. So, right off the bat, that synth thing that's just kind of going, get rid of it. Get rid of it. You don't need it because this is a piece about acoustic stuff, violins. It just doesn't fit with the piece right away. I mean, that was the first thing. It just took me out of it. Okay, so this is gonna be a while. We got a lot to talk about in this one. It's not bad. It's just like there's just some thing. It's mixing's another issue, but that thing that was just swelling back and forth, like it was distracting me, and it just didn't fit with the piece. Like it just didn't fit with the genre or the musics here. So all right, let's start beginning here. I think the see it right away. Like I'm like, what is this thing coming in my ears when I hear this acoustic guitar? I think that's a real guitar. It just doesn't fit with the piece. That's just my opinion. Okay, and that phrasing right there, I don't know what. It started off like really cool. See, you know, it's just janky. See, like that part when you set up that first melody, good. You want to counter it, you want to pattern, keep it kind of the same. That second time, what you did there, that would be good for the second time through the melody. It's just weird. I don't know. I hear it again. So, and you got these bell things going on. Like this isn't a. It just I don't know. It's just distracting from the piece. I can't hear anything because I hear these swelling synth thing with this bell, and I hear this acoustic guitar with this violin, and it just doesn't fit the piece for me. So what you could do here? Okay. I think this is a problem with we're just throwing everything, in the kitchen sink. That the things that you got in the background, what you could do is you could keep this violin piece to break up the monotony of it, is do the violin thing, break it up, and then go into that beautiful belly synthy thing, and then come back into the string instruments. I mean, you could do that, but don't do it all at once. Like I don't know what. Instead of going into that section, instead of going right there, then you could have did the bell thing that was underneath this right here. With the bells. There's another instrument in there I can't. There's another instrument in there I can't. But you hear that the background string synthy thing, it just I don't know, it just doesn't fit this piece. I swear if you got rid of it, this piece would pop. Yeah, because see, you're playing the violin thing. See these things that you're doing, the bells and stuff like that, the counters and stuff. It's good. It's just distracting from it. And like I said, that could be your after the viol or violin playing that thing. Then you could go into those bell things to break up the string monotony. I think that would be cool. Because I don't know what I'm supposed to listen to. The bells, or am I supposed to listen to the violin? Now, Now drop the violin if you're going into the woods. For the first 4 bars, for the first part of that melody, if you're doing woods, that's fine. Then you can bring back the solo violin. Yeah, you gotta get rid of those strings, man. The synthy pad strings. See how you're doing the bells here at this section? You could have done that at the previous stuff. See, it breaks up that monotony now, you know. That's what you could do at the beginning. Then bring the instruments back in. You know what I mean? Kind of ebb and flow kind of thing. Yeah, so that's a hard piece. That's a hard piece. And if those are real instruments, that's awesome. It brings so much to the piece. I can tell. I mean, I swear to, I really think those are real instruments, real violin and real guitar. And you have that synthy, stringy thing, and it's just killing it. And it doesn't fit in that piece. It really doesn't. For me, that's just my opinion. I could be totally off base here, but I just think it's killing it, man. It's supposed to be, you know, a guitar with a violin kind of thing. And, you know, the bells are cool, but I think, you know, if he did the violin and then to counter that, didn't go to the bells thing or what he did, that would be like he did here at the end. If he did that in the parts, which would be really cool. And then when you went into the woodwind thing, or whatever that, I think it's flute, it sounds like it. Drop that violin, play the melody, then bring the violin to double it or counter it. Like you did right there. So drop it and then bring it in like you just did. So drop it right there and there's just too much going on. Like it's just way too much. Got these synthy string things going on, and it's just too much. Down, you know, bring it down, lose some instruments, drop some stuff. This is a very there's a band that's coming to my mind that I'm thinking of, and I can't think of them right now. Anyway, I can't think of it right now. But, you know, that's what it sounds like to me. But yeah, I hope that helps. Like, I'm sorry, this is a really tough piece, because I love if it's real instruments. Anybody in the chat have anything to say, or am I off base, or am I on par with this? To me, that synthy, stringy thing, whatever, it just killing it. It just, I don't know what to focus on, you know, at some parts. So it makes it really difficult. Chris Music says great comments. Cool. All right, so I am on par. I think it doesn't need it, you know, it really doesn't. It could be you know, the bell thing could be a new color after the strings, you know. So you got the acoustic guitar, you got the solo violin, that's great. And then to bring up some new colors after those melodies play, then bring in those bells and stuff. I think that'd be good contrast. You know, you want some contrast in this piece, because it's all just everything just playing at once. We're all playing at once, and that's not how these pieces work. So listen to these style of music. I can't think of the band that I'm thinking about that's similar. You know, you gotta listen to music like this and see how they do it from a production point. But that's just from my notes. Like I don't write this kind of music, but I'm just telling you, that's not how. That stuff. There's just too much going on. But I like it. If those are real instruments, man, bravo. I'm pretty sure they were. They sounded like it. All right, I hope that helps. Like I said, that was a tough piece. That was a tough piece because I like it, but there's just things, you know, messing with it where it's taking me out and I can't enjoy it. You know, it's making me not want to listen to it. You know, but that's not what we want. We want people to love and, you know, connect with the music. So I hope that helps. Please submit that again or you know, work on it, and I would love to hear it. All right, moving on. So I think our last piece, unless anybody's submitted new ones, I don't think. I just checked the drive. All right, so this is from Epicurse Music, I believe. He submitted this. All right, here we go. Okay. Okay. I got a few things to say. So I like the start, but I think it just goes on a little too long. Like there's no melody there. Let me listen again. I like the piano. So drop that string thing. Let's just hear piano to set it up. You know, the strings over here I'm hearing. Get rid of that. Now you can bring it in. So you want to repeat that intro again. Okay? So you're setting up that pattern. Great. But get rid of it, that low string. You don't need it right now. So okay, when you're bringing in that cello, let's bring the piano down. So, you know, bring it down because now you're competing with your stuff. The piano doesn't need to be that loud. I got it. I'm with the piano. You set it up. You know, you could even take it away and I wouldn't even probably notice it. So I'm guessing this is the melody. The phrasing seems a little off. Like it's like like it's not smooth. It's kind of janky. And is that an organ? Like, I was like, oh yeah, that's different. Never heard that before. I think that's an organ, right? I don't know if you really need it. And then what? I don't know what this is. See, it's just meandering. Like, we're just wasting time right here. So what you could do is, switch up your colors, drop the strings, bring in a new color like you did. You brought that organ in, but the was it a cello or whatever, doing the thing that you've had since, the beginning of the song. So it gets old and I stop listening to it. And sometimes it starts distracting. So change up the color here. Drop the piano. We don't need the piano anymore. Take it, put it into strings or put it somewhere else. So now you got strings doing something, you got this thing going on, so you got too much going on right now. I don't know what to focus on. Drop some instruments. You want your solo, whatever's doing the melody is what we want the focus on. Okay, then it stops. So then we're going into this thing, and right away, after a while, like the vocal thing, that da 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 da, it just got old. Like I just got bored. So what you want to do is bring them down a little bit because they're a little loud. That choir would not be that loud. And bring them back in the mix a little bit. Add some reverb, maybe. Bring them back a little bit. So they're in the background. That's what we want. They're really up front. So then you got this horn thing going. So hold on, let me see. So what I would do, because this is done in all these types of music, do the, excuse me, so don't bring the horn in right away. If you're going to do the choir thing, bring the choir in, do maybe the choir for 4 bars, then bring your horns in. Have more impact. Or you can do the horns there, drop the choir, and then bring the choir in on the second half of the melody. Because that choir, it's just like, what? All I hear is da 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 da. That's what it sounds like. I can't hear the horn melody. I can't. All I hear is da 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 da. So what you want to do is bring that back a little bit. Maybe do strings doing that da 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 da, or mix it up. There. Now you could have brought the choir in. Because I got the melody. I know the melody. I don't know what the melody is because I hear the choir doing a melody and then I hear the horn. So when you want to bring in an instrument with melodies, we want to know that melody. So and then the first time around you want it the cleanest. You want just solo horn. And then that second time you do the melody, that's when you can start bringing in other instruments because I know the melody. I'm okay with it. Now let's do something else. But when you did that all at once, I don't know what to focus on. I don't know the melody. Watch, just listen. That makes sense? I don't know what to listen to. So what you could do, like I said, there's 2 options here. You could go in, do the choir thing first, for 4 bars, set it up, then bring in your horns, which I think would bring more impact. Or what you could do is drop the choir at first, bring in your horns, and then bring the choir in on the second time of the melody. Right there. Now bring in the choir. So now you're bringing in strings. We're just piling everything on. We're just doing stuff. So this piece is what's called vertical development, not horizontal development. You'll hear me talk about this. This is the hardest thing to do as a composer, to vertical development instead of horizontal development. So or vertical is we're just stacking, everything's the same, and we're just stacking more on top, making it bigger and bigger and bigger. That's the thing we do in music now. Horizontal development is we're actually telling a story. So you're taking the piece and going somewhere else. So you have your A section, you're going into a B section, and you're moving the story along, kind of keeping it there. So vertical is we're just staying on one idea, and we're just stacking and stacking and stacking. We're just going like this. and we're just, you know what I mean? So I hope that makes sense. But what it's suffering for is that I don't know the melody here, and because there's too many things going on at once. So what you could have done if you had the choir there, and then when you're coming in with the strings, drop the choir, have the strings do it, and then do the melody again with the brass instruments, and maybe double it with a trumpet or something like that, or high strings. So you don't need the drums there, I don't think. Like this whole part, I just wasn't really feeling it. The whole last section. Because it's just basically repeating it. I mean, if we could change it up, maybe. I'm trying to think the best way to do this. Did you have drums at the beginning? You just had piano, so maybe you could go back to the piano. So what we're looking for is dynamics. Dynamics and contrast, We already heard drums. That was your epic point right there. You just hit the peak. So you only have one way to go, is to come back down, because you built it up. You built it up like this, and then you're coming back down. Think of it that way. So we don't need the drums, because it just doesn't. You got these big pounding drums, and then just this kind of like dun, dun, dun. You could do the strings, it's fine. Maybe do a melody here, restate that melody you had at the beginning in a different instrument, but change it a little bit so we know we went on a journey. So you got a choir. We've already heard choir, so let's change it up. Let's do something different. Yeah, you just have these pounding drums. They're just like, what? I would get rid of those drums and make it a piano, and maybe choose some delicate there we go again. Delicate instruments there. And it's just going on and on. You could have ended it, it's fine. And you brought in the low strings again to tie up from the beginning. I see that. But see what I'm saying? Like, what you could do is do that melody you had at the beginning, restate it, but make it in a new way, because we've went on a journey here. I see your sections. Tighten up that beginning part, and then that middle section with the choir thing. Either bring the choir in at first for the 4 bars, 8 bars, then bring in your horn melody, or do the horn melody first and then bring in the choir later. You know what I mean? All right. Epicurse Music, you still there? I hope I didn't lose you. I hope that all helps, man. Oh, it's my pleasure. He says, yep, fantastic comments with fairness and genuine. Thanks so much, Todd, for reviewing it. Oh, you're welcome, man. Thanks for submitting it. I know it takes a lot, to submit a piece to somebody and have people on the internet hear it and, critique it. But that's the only way we're going to grow and get better as composers is, you got to hear it, man. You got to hear it. You got to take criticism. If you can't take criticism, you'll never make it. Yep, horizontal linear development is key. Yep. We're going on a journey here. So you got a section. I mean, you got it kind of laid out. You got that middle section. You got your tail. But the middle section, you're not setting up a melody. You're not setting up something. So let's set up what you kind of did with the low strings, and then, you went into that middle with that choir thing, and it just got old. So, and I didn't know what your melody was. You did the horn thing, but you got this choir thing going on. So I would do the horn thing. Melody is always key. If any tip I can give you, melody. Melody, melody, melody. That's what people listen to. They want to hear melodies. There is a time and place to have underscore and just ambient thing, in movie scores and scenes. I get that. But when you're listening to music, what do people sing? The melody. So, and the melody is the hardest thing to write. That's the hardest thing, man. Um, and then when you're playing a melody, when you have a melody going in your song, the first time around, make sure there's nothing in getting in the way, because we got to remember the melody. That second time you do the melody, it's always good to do the melody twice. And on that second time, you can vary it a little bit. You can change it a little bit to give it a little more spice. And then you can bring in other instruments on it and do a counter melody. Never do a counter melody on the first pass of a melody. Never. I mean, you can, but I wouldn't do it, because we're not comfortable with it. We're not with you yet with the piece. All right. Well, I think that's it. If anybody has any questions, now is the time. I guess we can do a quick Q&A. If anybody has any other questions outside of what we just talked about, I would love to take some questions a little bit. This is going on, I think we're going on 2 hours. Yeah, I like to keep these about 2 hours, because after 2 hours, people kind of just lose interest. Great stream. I mean, I had a little. The good thing about when I don't get a lot of pieces submitted to me is I can spend a little bit more time with them and really critique them. And like I said, what I like to do is I like to listen through them once, so everybody can listen to it, don't talk about it, then go back and dissect it. We go through it, and we listen to the piece and try to make critiques as we go along. This is the third time we've done this track reviews, and it's getting better and better every time. So, like I said, my philosophy is, I'm your listener, and I'm just trying to give you positive things to make your pieces better. Epicurse Music says, I'm glad to have found you and your channel. Well, it's my pleasure, man. I'm glad you found us. Like I said, there's a Discord channel. I probably should put that in the, hold on. I should probably put the link here, so because I keep talking about it and you guys probably don't know how to get it. I mean, there's a video on it. Hold on, let me pull it up here. We'll get it, and I'll throw it in chat so you guys can get it. But this is what we do in the Discord channel. We just there's a section there for track feedback. If you're working on a piece, you're stuck, you don't know what to do, that's what it's for. And I'm always there. There's other people there. And there's other things. We share stuff there all the time. We have fun, sample libraries, new announcements. Because I know a lot of the time people, are busy, as is, I'm busy. And all right, there's the link to the Discord channel. Make sure that works. Just let me know. Go in there, sign up, and we would love to have you and love to talk to you. All right, so anybody got any questions or anything? But it's I know I pimp out this Discord all the time, but I'm telling you, like, that's the whole point of my channel. It's a community. We're building a community here of people and composers. My goal is to get new composers that are learning, because I'm learning just like you guys. I'm not an expert, never claimed to be, but I've learned some things along the way, and I just like to share what I know, because I've been there. Especially starting out, it's the worst. And having people there to get at you right away and tell you the mistakes you're making so you can make them better, you're just going to grow faster and get better quicker. So that's the whole point of my channel. And like I said, there's a lot of content on there. If you're new to the stream, check it out, subscribe, and check out the Discord channel. I put it in the link. There's a video on my YouTube channel to let you know if you're watching this later. A lot of people in there, a lot of good people. And like I said, it's family friendly. I like to keep it that way. And you're not going to get made fun of or any of that, bullied or, trolled or nothing. You can ask a question and people will answer it. I will answer it. I'll find it for you. But anyway, yeah. So anything I have coming up, I don't think so. Like I said, I have a couple series in mind. Like I said at the beginning of this video, if you probably didn't watch, I like to do some personal, like some vlogs, like vlogs, but the way I want to do it is more philosophy based about music and topics that we struggle with. Because there's times I'm sitting here and there's things, that ideas I have, and I want to talk about them. And I don't want to do like a normal video like I normally do. So I'm thinking about getting creative with it, and take my camera outside and walk around and talk about it, kind of like Christian Henson from Spitfire. I really like his vlogs and how he does them. So they'd be edited no more than 10 minutes. So they'll be just philosophical things or thing I'm thinking about. So I'm thinking about doing that. When, I don't know, but that's something that might be coming up on the horizon. And then Composer Talk interviews are still going on. If you guys have anybody you want to see on the channel or want me to interview to pick their mind, let me know. You can send me an email or just go to my website, toddkavers.com/asktodd. You can submit a form there and let me know. But yeah, I mean, we had 2 people on previously, and it's getting better. I'm finding the stride. Like I said, it's more of a conversation that I have with composers. It's not so I'm just sitting there asking. I have 15 questions and I ask them. No, it's just me and them talking. We just flip on the camera and we start going. That's the idea of it. But I have a couple people in mind that I want to get on, and like I said, I want to talk more about business stuff, music business, and what to look out for when you're submitting for libraries. 'Cause I don't know, and I'm learning. And I think that would be key for everybody, because I know a lot of people want to make money with their music. So if you have anybody that that's an expert or would love to talk about it, let me know and we'll get them on the show. John says he likes the idea. Must be for the vlogs. Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out the best way to do it. I don't want to have it just like me sitting here talking about stuff. I want to have a discussion and kind of a philosophical thing, and what's on my mind and things I'm struggling with. I want to show the realities of a composer. I've had a couple crash and burn live streams. Live composition streams. I think Composing with Coffee number 4. I think it was either 3 or 4. We crashed and burned pretty bad. It took about a few weeks to recover. It's still shaking my ego a little bit. But that happens, man. You're not gonna write great music every time you sit down in the chair. About 95% of the time it's gonna be crap. And it's gonna be 5% of the time you're gonna knock it out of the park, and something's just gonna come out and be beautiful, and that's okay. That's okay. All right. So anybody have any ideas? If not, I think we're gonna end the stream, because it's like I said, we're going on 2 hours, and after 2 hours, it just gets kind of, we're just kind of talking about stuff. Let me take a look at the Discord channel. Looks like we have a couple people that join. Cool. I mean, usually sometimes the Discord channel, there's some days that a lot of people aren't talking because people are busy, But like I said, I monitored it most of the day, and there's people in there all the time. And, just drop your question if there. It doesn't get answered right away. Somebody will get to it, but, it's pretty good in there. We just share ideas. If, we talk about sample libraries, if you need help with a song or cue you're working on. But with that said, if you've stuck around this long, let's say we're at like 2 hours, 2 minutes. I appreciate it. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed this. And if you got your piece reviewed, I want to hear it, all the suggestions that we made, and I want to see you implement it, and I want to like to hear it for April. So other than that, thanks for watching. Thanks for everybody's support, and I'll see you next time. Thank you.